Welcome back, everybody, to another video about the Grammys. So, the 2025 Grammys were a bloodbath, but also really generous with no real dominant winner. I actually found myself extremely happy with the results of it, a first in a few years. As we all know, 2024 was an insane year for music, where stars finally got their overdue love, and the heavyweights dropped their own albums into the mix. In this video, we're going to talk about the big winners, the performances, and some thoughts on who I thought were snubbed. I do want to say before I start how ridiculous and dumb it was that only 9 awards were given on air. As much as I love seeing performances and tributes, these are award shows meant to celebrate the musicians, their achievements, and granted, it was to help raise some money for the wildfire relief, but it's a shame that we didn't get to see much of the rap, rock, or country fields on air. The worst part is that the show also ran overtime too, but let's digress. So the Big Four and the general field, let's get this out of the way. The Album of the Year award finally went to Beyonce for Cowboy Carter. I thought it was overdue. She had been snubbed 3 times consecutively. I think even she was shocked. Gaga was in tears. I felt like it completed an arc about her being constantly overlooked. A lot of people will argue that this is a symbolic win, but I just love being able to see her canonized. It felt legendary. Beyonce brought up her daughter on stage. This one honestly was for Renaissance for me, for Lemonade for others, for Self-Titled for a few of you guys. It's amazing to me that Cowboy Carter is just Act 2 of a 3-part project, and I feel like Act 3 might actually be another AOTY win. Fun fact, Beyonce has won across 5 different genres because of tonight: pop, country, rap, R&B, and dance. She is truly the avatar of musical versatility. I am scared for the tour prices. Record and Song of the Year went to Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar, who deserved the trophy for being the literal, undeniable song and record of the year. Not Like Us was a perfect diss track that ended a career and had us all dancing on someone's grave. You saw that whole stadium yell A minor when they played it. It is a perfect blend of West Coast rap, as much a love letter to the city as much as it was a ruthless verbal takedown. I really liked Kendrick's speeches. The first one brought attention to Altadena and the Palisades, and the second one was a love letter to the rap community for keeping the industry on its toes. And of course, we got to talk about Best New Artist, which was always going to be a 2-horse race between Chappell and Sabrina, even though there were many talented people in that category. It ended up going to Chappell Roan, who came up in her princess outfit for her coronation. I really felt like she deserved it for being an artist who fought for years for recognition, for even minor success, leaving LA at one point after being dropped by her label and abandoned, but she never gave up. She came back. She made this beautiful speech asking the industry, particularly the labels that make billions of dollars off artists, to offer them livable wages as rising artists. Her bravery to call out the labels on the highest stage of music history was admirable and amazing. Most artists won't even recognize the reality of their struggles before they became big up there, but she brought it to light, and seeing the reactions, you can see that her peers have also experienced hardships that they have not been open about. So seeing her fight for these small guys, that was very inspirational. Producer of the Year non-classical went to Dan Nigro, his second win. He had previously won for his work on Olivia for Sour, and now his work with Chappell on Midwest Princess. This win was not surprising considering how much impact Chappell had throughout the year. Nigro looks like he's going to be a regular in this space in the future. He's currently working with Sabrina as per rumors, and with Olivia for her third album. He might win a back-to-back. And for Songwriter of the Year non-classical, we got Amy Allen, the architect behind some of the biggest hits of the year and Sabrina's go-to songwriter. Allen's win felt like a bellwether for Sabrina's big night in the pop categories. Her work on Espresso in particular was one of the keys that unlocked Sabrina's big outbreak this year. I feel like as a songwriting partner, she was really able to distill Sabrina's personality while powering some pretty big anthemic hooks. Allen had previously won Album of the Year for her work on Harry's House in 2023, and in 2024 she wrote Sab's 3 big hits, Apatow for Rosé and Bruno Mars, and the underrated Smile 2 album featuring Naomi Scott's Sky Riley. Now we're gonna move it over to the pop and dance categories. As I said before, the pop field was insane. The first big win of the day was actually Sabrina Carpenter for Espresso in Best Pop Vocal Performance. It felt like a prelude to her win for Best Pop Vocal Album for Short and Sweet. Short and Sweet as an album was one of this year's best-selling projects. It was well loved by critics, and many predictors actually had it locked to win. I thought her speech was short and sweet and perfect. Best Pop Duo obviously went to Die With A Smile, which is on track to smash for 5 weeks at #1. This apocalyptic jam may have been Grammy bait, but it was perfection and just a blockbuster, a timeless song. Gaga's shout out to trans folks was exactly what needed to be said on that stage, especially in uncertain times. I just have to respect her for being brave enough to go up on that stage and speak out for an understated community. This marks Gaga's 14th win and Bruno Mars's 16th win. The dance category was interesting for me. That was the category I had my eyes on. Charli XCX won her first ever Grammy win for Von Dutch in the dance pop recording space. She is the second winner after Kylie won last year for Padam Padam. Finn Keen, formerly known as Easy Fun, accepted on her behalf for Von Dutch, which kickstarted the Brat era nearly a year ago. Von Dutch was actually up against her co-headliner Troy's underrated Got Me Started, Billy's Over Now remix, and Ariana Grande's chart-topping Yes And, which underscores how stacked the competition was. Brat also won another award for its innovative and fun recording packaging, which went viral and took the world by storm, marking 3 wins for her before the big ceremony. The other win was for Best Dance Electronic Album, a monumental win for Charli. I think Brat deserved its win for its cultural cash and critical acclaim. She now joins Madonna, Lady Gaga, and Beyonce as the only women in history to win in that category. And yes, I am a Charli stan, so I just want to say how proud I am of her. I'd been a fan since her mixtape days on MySpace leading into True Romance. The fact that she's been persistent, consistent, explorative, trying new sounds, and finally getting rewarded. It is an arc similar to the arc I felt for Beyonce, and an inspiration to artists to stay true to themselves because you may be loved for being you one day. And of course, in the remix category, Mark Ronson and FNZ won for their remix of Espresso. Unfortunately, this win does not count for Sabrina's totals. And I can't not note Shakira taking home the prize for Best Latin Pop Album and making a touching tribute to her immigrant brothers and sisters, pledging to fight for them, and dedicating her award to the she-wolves who provide for their families. Let's move it over onto country. Country was not a Beyonce sweep like some predicted. The Academy actually spread the wealth, with Beyonce taking home Best Country Album, a prelude to her big win, and it was actually presented by Taylor Swift herself. You could actually tell that Beyonce was shocked to have won that award, making her the first Black woman in history to win that particular award, a testament to her legacy as an artist. Beyonce's speech about genre just being a label and expressing her shock and honor winning was very classy and understated. Beyonce also took home Best Country Duo for Two Most Wanted with Miley Cyrus, marking the first time both women had won in that category. Casey Musgraves, a personal favorite of mine on this channel, she shockingly won Best Country Song for The Architect, which was a classic slice of acoustic country, perfectly crafted for dark times. That actually brought her up to 8 overall Grammys, 3 of them being just this category of Best Country Song. And Best Country Solo went to Chris Stapleton's It Takes a Woman, not a shocker considering his previous wins to Darling. The last major categories that I'm going to discuss are rap and R&B. We gotta talk about Doechii, who was a big winner last night with Alligator Bites Don't Heal. First time nominee, Doechii was already making big moves, campaigning excellently for a special project that just showcased her versatility and power. She is the 3rd ever woman in history, joining Lauryn Hill and Cardi B. The Swamp Princess's speech was gracious, a shout out to Tampa, where she's from. She shouted out Black women, stating anything is possible. They just need to be exactly who they are because that's who they need to be to get to the top. It was just a very moving moment, a very well-deserved win. She really went from a grassroots darling to a powerhouse. As expected, Kendrick swept for Not Like Us, getting rap song, rap performance, and best music video on top of song and record of the year, in an upset that many people actually thought that Fortnite was going to win for the best music video category. These wins bring Kendrick's overall wins to 22 Grammys. Grammys. And it pretty much solidifies the industry's on his side of the beef. DJ Mustard had actually accepted the 3 earlier awards in the day. SZA took home Best R&B Song for Saturn, which dropped at last year's Grammys, which I thought was a cool little full circle moment. She made history as the first woman to win 2 consecutive awards in that category. I think it's a good sign that we can actually see her nominated for her work on SOS Lana. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw BMF and that album find itself nominated in the categories next time. And now I'm going to talk about the performances. There were a lot of performances, so if I skip 1 or 2, don't blame me. It just was my mind forgetting about it. Billie Eilish's performance of Birds of a Feather, I thought it was gorgeous. Just this lush rendition in nature. I thought it fit the vibe of the song much better than the music video. She and Phineas tore it up. There were so many cute photos of them as kids. Definitely set the tone for the night being a love letter to Los Angeles and reminded us of her vocal abilities. Sabrina's performance started with this charming, old-school rendition of Espresso that channeled some of the fun energy from the Short and Sweet tour, which I was so happy to attend, before becoming a proper pop explosion with dancers. She does a classy tap dance performance that made me want to see her go back to Broadway before doing an outfit change for Please Please Please. Smooth transitions over, production value top-notch. She looked like she was having the time of her life. Any doubts about her being a star completely gone. Introduced by Olivia Rodrigo, Chappell Roan just killed it with Pink Pony Club. It was a huge production number, another tribute to LA and the queer community. Giant ponies surrounded by clowns. It was campy. She looked stunning. She brought the Midwest princess era to life with her drag-inspired makeup. As one of the few openly queer performers of that evening, that performance felt like a statement to the queer community that even in dark times, that there's a light somewhere, which I thought was very powerful. Her vocals were next level. Everyone was on their feet. Another star-making moment for Roan. Then we got a showcase of the Best New Artist noms, which kicked off with Benson Boone doing a performance of Beautiful Things, which had him in a jumpsuit doing flips, even adjusting his junk. I thought it was understated compared to the other performances, but it was just overshadowed by Doechii afterwards. I thought Doechii killed it with Catfish. She got a chance to show us why she won that Grammy that night. Again, the choice of doing that song, and then she went over to Denial is a River, where she and the dancers just elevated it. The outfit changes, the flow, the visuals, everyone was gagged. Teddy Swims performed Lose Control, and I was shocked they sound just like the record. And then Shabuzi was next with Tipsy, a bar song, which was one of the biggest songs of last year. I thought he sounded great. The dancers in the back added some energy that we were missing with some of the performances. But I have to give it to Ray for closing out that showcase, singing Oscar-winning Tears, elegant ensemble, full band, vocals were top-notch, the song choice was perfect, highlighting her skill as a writer and a vocalist. And the high note at the end, just a flex. Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars performed a touching tribute to Los Angeles in the wake of the wildfires, doing a cover of California Dreaming, which I thought showcased their vocal chemistry and raw talent. No tricks, just 2 performers on stage with a band. It was very classy. The attention was on the cause. I was happy that there was no promo for Die With a Smile. A lot of people hyped up a legendary surprise, and it ended up actually being The Weeknd, who got a public apology from the Grammys after a 5-year-long boycott and being welcomed back, singing Cry For Me and Timeless in a good performance that made me want to get tickets for his tour. Does this mean that he is returning as a Grammy contender? Because for a couple of years, he just did not submit anything. So if so, what a way to announce it. And even though this was not a performance, Gaga premiered her latest dance track and music video, Abracadabra, for a MasterCard ad that I just thought was visually stunning. I thought it was classic Gaga, but modernized. I was thrown back to the days of being a kid in front of my old crappy laptop, watching videos of The Fame Monster and Born This Way. This song is just an earworm. It feels retro, fresh, campy, twisty, turny, lots of hooks. I will need to listen to the track a bit more because it didn't click with me initially, but I am glad to see her commit to the dance vibes that she was introducing with Disease on Mayhem. The gibberish bit did kind of remind me of Bad Romance. I am hyped for the album. Shout out to Gaga, Paris Goebel, and Bethany Vargas for directing the hell out of this. Quincy Jones received a touching tribute headlined by stars like Cynthia Erivo, Janelle Monáe, Lainey Wilson, Jacob Collier, Stevie Wonder, and Will Smith, who told their stories about working with them over the years and his impact. Very fitting. Janelle's section gave me chills, one of the best performances of the night. Shakira celebrated her win with a victory lap of a performance, bringing choreo the whole time, outfit changes. She has not aged in 25 years. And the final performance of the night came from Charli XCX, who showed us why it was a brat summer with a performance of Von Dutch in a blue bikini and a fur coat with her it girls, even shouting out Julia Fox's birthday. She brought it back to the warehouse industrial setting that made her a superstar. She ended up moving back to the stage with her entourage to do guests, turning the Grammys into a rave. The Dare even made a cute cameo before that iconic breakdown with the girls, and Billy even rocking out in the audience. I thought Charli brought it home, but the camera guy just did not know how to shoot it, and I felt like Billy should have showed up on stage. And now, welcome to the snubs and assorted thoughts section. Billie, in my opinion, was absolutely snubbed. No wins for one of her best records ever. I was just so shocked. I mean, like, Kendrick deserved those awards, but I was just surprised that Birds of a Feather walked away with nothing. That song was everywhere. Hit Me Hard and Soft was one of my frontrunners for Album of the Year and a close contender for Best Pop Vocal Album, but I think the Academy just felt like she already had enough awards, so they went for New Blood. Still, she will be back. She's very young. She has 9 already. No big deal. Likewise goes for Taylor Swift with Tortured Poets Department, which won absolutely nothing. That was absolutely expected due to her recent win for Album of the Year. She'll be back. One snub that really got me in a sad way, just because it was impossible for her to sort of win this year, was Ray. I thought she needed some recognition. She was up for Songwriter of the Year as well as Best New Artist and Best Engineered Album. But this year was way too stacked. It was a hard call, and in a less crowded year, I think she would have definitely won something, but I also blame the fact that she is an indie artist and she does not have the apparatus to eke out a win. Another snub for me was Olivia for Visual Media for Can't Catch Me Now. Love that song, even though Jon Batiste is excellent as always. Another snub was Shabuzi, biggest song of the year last year, not a single award for Tipsy. My personal last snub had to be for Clairo. Like, that was Clairo shade by not giving her an award for Best Alternative Album for Charm. Charm felt like a breakout moment for me, with Juna becoming a minor crossover hit and an overall gem. Just the Clairo shade is unforgivable, I'm sorry. Oh, and before I forget about it, there was a moment where Megan, yes, Megan, the killer android, showed up to dance to Femininomenon from Chappell Roan, and that just has me hyped for Megan 2.0. It was a really good ad, reminded me of the old-timey classic iTunes ads. But last overall thoughts, I thought these Grammys were some of the best Grammys just in spreading the wealth and rewarding people and highlighting the community. I thought that even though it ran over time, I was really shocked with how the results played out. For better, the girls that I rooted for won. And if your fave didn't win this year, they'll be back, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, that's a wrap. Thank you so much for watching this Grammy video. I did one last year, which is why I felt the need to do one this year. I actually got to watch this with a couple of friends on Discord. Quick shout out to my members. Thank you so much for supporting my channel, taking that extra step and joining. Another big shout out to my subscribers. We are 25,000 and strong officially. Thank you so much. I know I am niche. I know that there's not that many of you, but I appreciate every single one of you who clicks on these videos. I look forward to covering what comes out this year. I unfortunately could not do a review for the Weekend album like I had planned to, even though it is a great record. I highly recommend you guys check it out. Not sure what I'm going to cover next. I feel like I'm going to do another Gaga retrospective. Let me know in the comments which Gaga album you want me to do a retrospective of. It cannot be Art Pop, unfortunately. I have 2 videos on that. Right now, I'm right in between Born This Way and The Fame, so let me know between those 2, and I will see you next video.